So the crypto market's looking a little bit shaky this morning. XRP is down about 1.86%, but we had some news yesterday that was pretty interesting and extremely unprecedented according to the CEO of Tectum. So we had millions of dollars transacted in under 60 seconds, which I'm going to discuss with you guys. We're also going to be looking at some wild price speculation, and we're going to look at the overall market to see how it's affecting the XRP price and what we can expect next. Now, with that said, please remember that nothing in my videos is ever financial advice, and let's jump straight into it. So right now, XRP $2.18, down 1.85% on the day, but I think this is due to the fact that Bitcoin is actually also having somewhat of a pullback. Now, as we discussed in yesterday's video, this was to be expected because of this. This is the Bitcoin exchange liquidation map, and right now we have basically the whole market pricing in a move to the upside rather than to the downside. Now, this normally coincides with pullbacks because normally the most retail investors and traders are not correct. That's just simply how this market moves, and that is how I trade this market. So I go against the majority of retail investors by buying when everyone's scared, taking profits when everyone's euphoric. That's why from our Bitcoin trade, for example, yesterday, we took profits because we saw this chart and we thought that doesn't look safe, right? So on the left, we have the long liquidation leverage. On the right, we have the short liquidation leverage. If the short liquidation leverage is almost non-existent, that means the market is not predominantly going short, meaning betting the price is going down. If we have the long liquidation leverage up at these highs and that down there, it just shows us that everyone is betting the price will go up. Now, you can get this information from coinglass.com, and it's very interesting and it does help me to trade, as when we see the exact opposite to this chart, it's normally when I'm opening these positions like the XRP, SUI, and Bitcoin positions. Our XRP position still at 91% gain, and maybe this pullback could give us another opportunity to bolster this position. So if you're thinking the same as me and you do want to start trading, you can do so over on Blowfin. They trade Bitcoin, XRP, and basically anything else you want to trade without providing any personal details. No VPN needed, nothing. You can access Blowfin from anywhere. And for the XRP community, I got them to give us this perfect spinner game. So you can join Blowfin's lucky draw and trade to win XRP, up to 1,000 XRP. And all you need to do is sign up and start trading, and you're going to start getting opportunities to spin this wheel and win XRP right now using the link in my description. So guys, go and grab that while you still can. Now, we have some interesting things coming up. We see Levi here posting XRP sees explosive spike with $23 million traded in just 60 seconds. The Curium CEO, sorry, I think I said that wrong at the start, calls this demand unprecedented. So if we do jump over, we can see this interview here with him talking. This is the CEO of Curium.
Ripple's a company of really professional people working really hard on this. That's why we chose XRP. We believe in XRP. We're not making a price prediction, but we do believe it's a coin that will have the most utility out there. Bitcoin is a store of value. I agree with Mike McGlone, but I think that XRP has a true use case. There's just no doubt about it. And the Ripple team, from the interaction we've had with them, they're really professional. They act like investment bankers over there. They know what they're doing, and they will make this work.
So this is one of the reasons why I hold XRP in my long-term portfolio, but I also trade it in the short term. So what I like to do, right, is I like to have my long-term trading portfolio of cryptos I actually believe in for the long term. I've been holding XRP for many, many years now, along with Bitcoin as well. Not as long for SUI, but this is a more recent purchase. But my idea here is I both trade in the short term with leverage, the positions I believe in. That way I can take profits from these rather than taking profits from my spot bag. So as the price moves up, we take profits out of our short-term positions, and then we can use those profits to either continue to trade in the short term or bolster our spot bags. And I just rinse and repeat this process over the long period of time. And then when the market gets really euphoric, for example, when XRP moved from 50 cents all the way up to about $3, that was when I did take some profits from my spot bags. And that's what I just rinse and repeat. But I keep these spot bags ready in case we get massive moves to the upside, because I see XRP, SUI, Bitcoin, and a few other coins going significantly higher from where we are today. Now, this guy said he's not giving a price prediction, but I did just come across this, right? This is basically someone calling the XRP guy calling for a potential $15,000 XRP price. Now, Ripple's swift replacement price prediction has stunned many investors and analysts alike. XRP to $15,000 scenario are gaining more traction right now following recent executive comments. At the time of writing, a senior Ripple executive has also confirmed that the company aims to replace the Swift network that currently handles around $5 trillion in daily transactions across the global financial institutions. Now, I've said this a million times before, guys. I don't think that this is going to happen. I don't think that XRP is going to go to $10,000, $15,000. However, I would absolutely love to be completely wrong. I don't think XRP is going to $1,000. I don't think it's probably going to $100. In fact, this bull market, I think about $10 is a reasonable price, but it's still going to be very hard to get there. However, I will not sell all of my XRP because what if I'm completely wrong? I would love to be completely wrong. I would love for it to go to $15,000 because that would make me a wild amount of money, and all the while I can take profits when we see these pushes to the upside, and then I can bolster my positions for the long term, taking profits, protecting my downside, and actually making money in this market as we go through it. A lot of people just buy and hold forever, and there's no way to guarantee that that is going to be a successful strategy with XRP, but it may very well be. You may turn out to be the next Bitcoin. I may be completely wrong. However you want to handle this is up to you. This is just my thoughts and opinions on the market, but this would be very exciting. Let me know, do you think this is possible, or do you think this is absolutely nonsense? For me personally, I'm 99.9% sure this will not happen. However, because of that 0.1%, I will be holding a significant bag in XRP, probably forever, just in case it happens like that and everyone's shocked by it, right? Now, with that said, obviously, the market is a little bit red today. We do have yesterday's market, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones, all up between 1% and 2% here. However, if we do look at the futures of the market, as of right now, the S&P futures, the Dow, and the NASDAQ are all down just under 0.5% each. And we also have Bitcoin down as well. And if we take a look at gold, gold was up yesterday and is actually bouncing from here. So we're seeing an inverse correlation still. Now, this is all due to the tariffs and the Trump stuff and China. And China is saying that they're open to resuming trade talks with the United States, but they said they will fight. And they must. If a negotiation solution is truly what the US wants, it should stop threatening and blackmailing China. And they also said to keep asking for a deal while exerting extreme pressure is not the right way to deal with China. So of course the market is very uncertain about this. Trump is also still talking about substantially lower taxes because of the tariffs. So people just don't know which way to take this. But when it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to the crypto markets, things are incredibly bullish right now. For example, we have Coinbase saying sovereign wealth funds are currently quietly buying Bitcoin. And he literally is saying that while retail is panic selling, sovereign wealth funds are buying. On top of that, we have Grayscale's Sui Trust just went live. And we have a new company coming in to try and take the crown from MicroStrategy. They're pitching themselves as a better company than MicroStrategy, who are basically giving people the opportunity to buy shares and then calculate their shares in Bitcoin to share value. And they've just launched with over 42,000 Bitcoin, $4 billion already on their balance sheet. And they are backed by Tether, SoftBank, and Cantor Fitzgerald. So this could be absolutely huge. It's headed up by Jack Mallers, and another MicroStrategy is perfectly fine in my books because it's going to squeeze the supply of Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin rises, it will rise the rest of the tide with it. And I believe that XRP and all of these altcoins will rise with the tide. Of course, actually, no, I take that back. Not all of these altcoins. A very select few altcoins will be rising with the tide. But I do think XRP is going to be one of them. And that is why I choose to trade XRP as well as a number of other coins. So if you do want to win yourself some XRP and you want to trade on a platform that has no KYC, no VPN, no personal details at all, the links to Blowfin are down there in the description. So you can grab these XRP bonuses. And to remind you guys, we've been doing a competition here where we've been copy trading, a copy trader called Quantoshi, and we are up 25% in about 6 weeks here. I put $10,000 of my own money into this, and during the whole market turmoil, we've still managed to go up 25%. And we started this test, right, before Bitcoin crashed. So it was a terrible, terrible timing. It was like right around here before this big sell-off. So in the time that Bitcoin is actually down around 5%, we've still managed to make 25% gains following this trade. And now I'm testing this out for myself. You guys, if you want to follow the same trader as me, all the links are in the description. But of course, it is a test, so you need to understand the risks involved and go out and do your own research. But I would say go and grab those XRP bonuses while we still have this opportunity, because there's only 12 days left of this. So I'll leave the links for that down there in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.